Am I live? Maybe? I don't know. All right, this is my last time trying. If this doesn't work out, it just doesn't work out. So I'm just gonna continue drawing. If somebody stops in, cool. If not, I'm not. I'm not recording this for like posterity or anything. It is just what it is. So, um, like I was recording earlier, maybe that sucked up resources, but I'm just not gonna do that this time. Hopefully that's the one thing that I'll do differently. Otherwise, we'll just see how it goes. Sorry. It is what it is. Okay, well, I'm back. Welcome back, everybody. Hopefully you guys make it in here. Kind of sucks because it kind of puts me behind on doing this drawing too. Um, Kind of hard to call it a better dragon if I can't get the dragon done. So that blows. But you know, it is what it is. Just carry on. Kind of rush through this. Maybe I can get the picture done really quick and then I can call it done before it craps out again. You guys can hear me fine and everything, right? Like that's not messed up or anything. So I'm saying, so like it's actually just fun to hang out with you guys. Like I don't even care if like you get like I'm drawing anything. I just wanted to hang out with you guys. That's all. All right, so trying to get some highlights on this side of the guy. I think the problem is I called it a better dragon. I called it a better dragon, and like the other dragon is kind of fighting back. I think that's what's going on here. I shouldn't have said it's a better dragon. I should have just let it be, just let it just draw it and just like, you know, not make any commentary. Oh well. I'm sure, you know, like the professionals have these problems too sometimes. Get some teeth going down here. That's what it is. You need some teeth. Well, I appreciate you guys being patient with me and you know, like hanging out and stuff. I know it's frustrating to have to switch between channels. I've had to do it on other streams that crapped out, and it's always tough to find your way. Like, I wish YouTube had a way of like killing one stream and then just kind of diverting everybody into a new one. Like, maybe there is a feature that allows you to do that. If so, it's my, I need to look that up because that would be cool. At least that kind of stuff doesn't seem to bother you guys. Like some people get upset over things when they don't work out. You guys are cool group of people. So you guys think this? You guys want to put? All right. So like, if we're gonna have to go through this, well, the least we can do is make it fun. So I want to know, like, who's got the bets on whether or not this stream will crap out too? Because I guess it's possible. I don't want to jinx anything. I mean, this guy does look kind of cool. It's like not exactly what I was looking for, but just keep working at it. What breed of hackneys are soft folks? Oh, you guys are talking about horses. Sorry. We have four horses arriving from Great Britain on Saturday. Horses arrive on Monday. Oh, yeah. So, like I mentioned, I think the last time I talked about it, but I think Kevin says there's like 15 different countries being represented at this horse event. It's actually really cool. It's next weekend. I'm gonna go out there. I'm gonna shoot some video. I've got some video and more photos of like the M&Ms that I worked on. So I'll probably post that up pretty soon as well. But the actual horse event is kind of cool. Like it's outdoors. This is one of those cross country events, which means like they jump over logs and over hills and things like that. And it's all outdoors. It's kind of like you see like golf events where everybody walks around in like the big field and all of that stuff. Uh, that's how this is. And you're like super close to the horses too. Like you could probably reach out and get mauled by one if you want. Um, so it's a fun event. It's definitely something that I would want to shoot some video of and bring that to you guys, and then draw a picture of it. Like, oh, thanks, kid. I appreciate that. Yeah, I wish I had carved those. They're so cool. I think Kevin posted the guy's name. I had it written down somewhere. I'm hesitant to open anything on my computer because it's gonna crash. Um, let's see. I don't know. I wrote the guy's name in the post, I think. Yeah. So, but yeah, he's super talented. Like I hope, like I really don't know. I went looking for like an Instagram or something for the guy. I think he's like, I don't think he's that kind of like promoting, kind of self-promoting kind of person. Um, but like I wanted to show off some of the other work he's done, but he's done some really cool stuff. Like he makes I don't know, like fish, um, like birds, ducks, Yeah, Tyson Rementor, which I love his last name. It's a very Harry Potter type name, like Dementor. Um, but he's a cool guy. I got to meet him, um, and super talented, very modest. Like I don't know if I would be that modest if I had that talent, but he does and is. He's pretty cool. But like when I'm out there on the field, I'll shoot some video of like other sculptures he's done. He's got a corgi. I think he did the corgi too. Yeah, okay, sorry, he did the corgi. And it looks really cool. It looks like a corgi, just a big old corgi out in the middle of a field. Somebody else painted that one. They did a good job on that. I can imagine that took like a lot of time. It took me basically all day to paint those M&Ms. I'm kind of slow. I don't know. I'm always thinking I'm doing things wrong. Like I don't have a lot of experience painting M&Ms. It's just not something I do on a daily basis. So uh, I am a little self-conscious when it comes to my painting of M&Ms. But I think first time painting an M&M, I kind of nailed it. And kind of looks like it has a nice hard candy shell. There you go. Tyson and his chainsaws. Yeah. Well, hopefully the video holds up since I'm not like doing the recording. I've got a decent computer. It's just sometimes it just craps out, and I don't know why. I don't know if I need to throw like more into the graphics. I work on computers, like I am a software developer, but not in the hardware department. That's somebody else's job. I work on software, mostly websites. Um, like if you want to know why your website's not working, I'm your guy. If you want to know why your graphics card isn't working, I have no freaking clue. Update the drivers, buy a new computer. That's fine. That's my recommendation whenever somebody's computer isn't working. It's like, well, have you tried upgrading? I hear they have a sale going on at Best Buy right now. So this one's a Windows. I have a Mac. I have a Mac laptop, but for the desktop, this is all Windows. I need to get a Mac desktop. For the longest time, I was a strictly Windows guy. I'm a .NET programmer, so it's kind of like they didn't have options for Mac back then when I first got started. And then, you kind of get set in your ways and stuff like that. So like you develop like preferences and biases and stuff like that. Um, but over time, they started making development software that works on Macs and stuff. So then I switched to Macs. I also wanted to switch to Mac so that I could develop for iOS. And now I prefer Macs. It's just, like a Mac desktop and stuff. It's like no real reason to pay for that expense if I don't need to. So like I just use the laptop. I I try to be frugal, not like prohibitively frugal, like where it interrupts my life. I like to enjoy life, but also it's like I don't like to waste money if I don't need to. Like every expense that I talk myself into, I talk myself out of it. So I'm a weird like shopper in general. So like I'll go to the grocery store and I'll load up the cart with like a whole bunch of different things, and I'm like, oh, I want this, I want that, and everything. And then as I start moving towards the cash register, I start removing things from the cart. I'm like, I don't really need this. Like, I'm only buying this because I'm hungry, or, um, you know, maybe I'll get this some other time. Like, or maybe I'll find this on Amazon for cheaper, or something like that. So, like, I'm a very strange shopper. I'll fill up my grocery cart and then I'll just start taking things out of it. But I think that's good, like it doesn't really matter how much money you have. You shouldn't waste. That's my philosophy. Like, um, I'm doing the freelance thing now, so I am watching my pennies. I'm not trying to waste money, but also it's like, even if I had a ton of money, even like when I had more money than I needed, uh, like I don't see any point in wasting it. Always save. But you should also like enjoy your life as well. You shouldn't be frugal to the point where you're just like not enjoying yourself. You only have what is it, YOLO? You only live once. Yeah, everything does work on a Mac. Well, not everything. So they one of the big things that Microsoft's doing that I don't approve of is Visual Studios. They had working on the Mac. Yeah, I think it was a port of Xamarin Studios from back in the day. But anyway, it was working great on the Mac. I was happy with it. It's great and everything. And then they just up and stopped support for it. They want you to use Visual Studio Code, which is fine. But I'm so used to using Visual Studio that I use Visual Studio Code for like Node.js and things like that. Did you try rebooting? So I could have probably rebooted. But I'm also doing a live show, so it's like I don't. It's just dumb. I don't know why it crashed. Like ordinarily, I would just reboot things, but I don't. I'm trying to do a live show, guys. It sucks. But yeah, so like I don't know. They want you to use Node.js for all your .NET development now, which is kind of strange. It's not. It it's strange because it's so different than Visual Studio on the PC. Whereas, the Mac version of Visual Studio wasn't that bad, but they're just up and discontinuing. I know this doesn't mean anything to most of you guys out there that aren't developers. Well, I mean, I don't think any of you guys are developers, but maybe Hater does development. I don't know. But anyway, point is, um, yeah, it was a nice experience developing on the Mac, and I don't know if that's true anymore. I'll continue doing it just because like I have the laptop, I might as well use it. I need to upgrade my laptop as well because my laptop is You know, it's a little bit older. I'm just trucking along with this dragon. I'm not even explaining what I'm doing anymore. Um, so I'm trying to get a balance between like, you know, a green dragon and then like fire or something like that lighting up the side of it. I don't know how successful I am. How are we doing on time? My time is all off since the video got split as well. I guess I'll keep track of it by the hours instead of the runtime of the video. Digital encryption errors. I'm not trying to encrypt anything here. I don't know why this thing messed up. Thanks, Tom. Hey, oh, yeah, yeah. So Tom wasn't in here earlier. Cool. Yeah. Welcome aboard, Tom. So I do like how this dragon's looking. It's just taking a little bit longer than I had hoped. Let me see if I can just kind of mass in like some areas here. And then maybe I'll come back and add some details later. I do like drawing with pastel pencils, just pastels in general. I'm gonna go and get some more pastel colors. Like I've got a limited set of these squares. I've got a decent set of pencils, thanks to a a very nice donor. I've got a nice set of pastel pencils, but I don't have a very good set of pastel squares, and I think I'm going to get some of those just so that I want to get into like doing some pastel landscapes, to be honest. Like I was looking at all my work and I'm like, you know what's really missing from what I do? Um, and it's strange because I like to experiment. I don't know why I haven't experimented more with these. Uh, I don't have very many landscape pictures, and I think that's a shame. I need to fix that before my drive C. It's weird. Like, I think it's the software that I use. It's not the machine. The software glitches. So I use OBS Studio, and I probably could have got this working outside of OBS Studio, but every now and then OBS Studio just flakes out. Like, I know it's OBS Studio because I have two different camera sources. One is piped into OBS Studio, which is like this frontal facial camera, and then one is the top-down camera. And those are coming from two different sources, and both of them glitched. That's OBS. So something in my OBS Studio is not working. See, this is how I am. I start obsessing about it until I'm like, I'm gonna figure this out. And then I'll probably install a bunch of updates to OBS tonight and probably find some solution to it now that it doesn't matter. Like, I mean, if it ruins one video, that's fine, but it ruined two videos. Freaking internet. It's the curse of the dragon, guys. Curse of the dragon. I don't know. I should probably count my blessings. Like most times things run swimmingly, you know. And this is how I am. I'm like, man, everything sucks, and then I start thinking about it. I'm like, well, maybe I should maybe I should be happy that it doesn't happen more often, you know. I'm so wishy-washy when it comes to like I complain about things and then I talk myself out of complaining about it. Because like all in all, is there anything to really complain about? There's not. There really isn't. Did dragons exist? Yes, dragons existed. Obviously, dragons existed. Like half those dinosaurs and stuff. Those were dragons for sure. I don't know if dragons existed. My guess is they didn't. My guess is that dragons are loosely based on you know, some ancient people finding dinosaur bones and not knowing that they were like terrestrial. I don't know. The dragons come in all shapes and sizes. So like, you know, we only have like the flying dragons from like, I don't know, some probably medieval like fiction story or something like that. Um, I don't know where the modern dragon comes from, but like if you look at like Chinese dragons and things like that, those were never flying dragons. Those looked like what dinosaurs might look like. So it's easy to think that Chinese dragons are based on somebody encountering some dragon or like some dinosaur bones and thinking that this was like a big crazy mythological creature. Looking vicious, yeah. Hater says, try split broadcaster. There's a couple of things I can try. Um, there's another program I used to use on my Mac back in the day. I actually started doing my live streams from my Mac, and then I decided I needed like a little more power and things like that. That's why I'm using the PC. My PC is actually like a pretty decent machine, but I like OBS. I mean, when it's working right, when it's working right, it's great. It's free, doesn't cost anything. It's easy to use. Um, Pretty straightforward. Uh, I can't take like one little glitch and kind of judge it harshly based on that. One bad night, never hurt anybody. Don't want to like, you know, sour people's view of OBS Studio just based on one experience. But yeah, maybe I'll try something else. I don't know. See how it goes. I just think I don't know, it kind of sucks. Because like I want my channel to look decent for new arrivals, like people who show up. So you know, I care about the videos that are up there and things like that. So like when these technical glitches happen and I have I have a screwed up video on my channel, I don't know what to do with that. Like I would be inclined to just delete it, but I don't really want to do that. But I also don't want to leave it up there. So it's like that's the kind of stuff I and Jay says, Jeremy, I think they exist. They totally exist. 100%. Like you can't just make up an entire species of animal, right? Yeah, these guys exist. I mean, I don't know, like if they I don't know, like if they're magical creatures, they're hiding out in some magical realm, you know, like some alternate dimension or something like that. That's how they easily exist now. But if they existed back in the day, they could just be miscategorized as dinosaurs. I I, I like the idea of like you know certain creatures existing, even though I think they probably don't, like Bigfoot and chupacabras and Mothman, things like that. I like those stories. Even I can suspend disbelief for a good story. I have no problem doing that. I don't know, guys. I feel like I'd be further along if I didn't have to deal with that video error. Get some darker bits in here. Hey, Husker Du. Yeah, it kind of looks like smog. I don't think it's technically smog though. I'm trying to remember. I think smog was like a red dragon. It wasn't like a green dragon. I think this dragon's loosely based on I forget his name. Um, some dragon I saw in some movie somewhere. But this is kind of like a green dragon. I wouldn't say this is Smog. I would say this is probably like Smog's distant cousin, maybe Smog's brother. It's definitely a relative of Smog. I think Smog is probably the most famous dragon. Like, you know, even even casual some casual folks they recognize the term Smog. For those who don't know, Smog is the dragon from The Hobbit. Pretty famous dragon. I think I'm just gonna kind of pencil in these parts back here and leave them kind of unrendered. See how that looks. Yeah. But no, I don't know. Like the whole internet issue, it almost like it happens so infrequently that I almost don't even care. But I think the real problem is I do want my video page to be welcoming to people and not look like totally amateurish. So I want my best work up there. I'll tell you. Okay, so these are the problems. These are the problems. I'm just gonna lay it all out there. So the problems are, I want to end that partner program so that I no longer have to worry about things like this. So I'm more concerned about the video glitching, not because I care about this drawing or the video itself or anything like that. I care about the watch hours, right? I told you guys like they're actually subtracting watch hours from the previous year, so I need to like double the watch hours that I get. Like people have to watch twice as many of my videos um, to move forward, if that makes sense. I know it's complicated, it's dumb, but they are subtracting the previous years because they only count like the last 365 days. So like anything from like January of 2023, they don't count. So what does that matter? Because I want the watch hours. I don't want to delete any videos, right? So like I've got this video that's split across two of them. I don't really care about the video itself, but I don't want to delete it either because I want the watch hours. That's why it matters. It's dumb. It's just so that I can get in that partner program and then I can delete old videos. I can delete old videos that I don't like anymore. Like there are some drawings that I've done that I don't really want to be up here anymore. I want to kill them. I want to delete them like they never happened. Just one of those like resets, you know? So like if I ever end up in that partner program, I can go back because I don't care about keeping the video views or any of that stuff because I don't care about that kind of stuff. I can go back and delete some of those that I'm not too happy with, like old videos of like unfortunately drawn people. They just look terrible. Um, they're not all bad. Like I'm just like a really bad critic of myself. That's all. But I do hate them. I hate those drawings so much. Just want just want them to disappear. Because I think a lot of my newer work is better. Maybe not this dragon, but um, I have been drawing better pictures overall than maybe what I started with last year. And I think it is kind of okay and cool to keep some of those videos around, but not all of them. Like I can keep some of the bad ones that I think represent, some sort of growth period or something. A phase I was going through. I don't know. Somebody said I had a blue period where I was drawing like a whole bunch of blue things, and it might be fun to keep things like that. Is the bandwidth good at your end? I didn't test it today, but I assume that the bandwidth's fine. It usually is. Now I'm in Kentucky, right? Which you wouldn't like. I assume you've never been to Kentucky in the United States, but it is a rural area, kind of semi-rural. Like I live in a town, where we have a university and pretty decent population, but it's still rural by most standards. And the infrastructure in this state isn't all that great to begin with. So um, even though I have good internet, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be reliably good. Like if there's a storm or something like that, it might go out, or you know. They've just recently started laying all of the wires and stuff like that in the ground. It used to all be on like posts and stuff. So, we don't get power outages as much during storms as we used to, or like during ice storms or something like that. But again, it is like a rural town, so or rural general area, which I like. Don't get me wrong. It's a good balance between uh, being populous and having you know things to do, and also being quiet and peaceful and things like that. Like, I don't know, within 30 minutes, I can be in a culturally vibrant area. And within another 15 minutes, I can be out in the country all by myself, out in the woods, you know, where this dragon can come and eat me and nobody would never notice because that's how solitude it is, which is nice. I mean, that's what you want. I think, I think that's what people would want, where you have that nice balance. Um, One of the things I want to start drawing like landscapes because I want to show off some of the places around here. It's beautiful, like the horse farms and things like that. I want to show you guys how beautiful it is around here. Um, there was a picture posted on the local Reddit the other day that was just all green grass as far as you can see. And it occurred to me that some of you guys, depending on where you live, like you might live out in Arizona or even further out west, like California or something, you would never see that grass out where you live, and it's just beautiful. And it's like you know that kind of stuff belongs in a pretty art picture, I think, right? That's the whole point of this stuff is to capture the beauty. Um, keep some of the bad ones in order to make your good ones even better. Yeah, I like that philosophy because again, I have a whole drawer of bad pictures over here, and I don't think I'll ever throw them away. Um, you know, like it's like books. There's probably been some exceptions in history where people have burned books and thrown away books and stuff like that. But I would never personally throw away a book. I would take it to maybe like Goodwill or something like that and let them deal with it and hope that it finds a good home and just kind of like, they might throw it away or something like that. But I would never personally throw away a book. I would certainly never burn a book or anything like that. Um, but there's just some things that I feel like you shouldn't destroy. And my art, whether good or bad or something like that, I'm not inclined to throw it away or destroy it. Now, that's not to say I won't. It's just not my natural inclination. Like sometimes I like to keep the pictures as source material for like redos, right? So like I haven't done a lot of them, but I've started that series where I'm like, all right, we're gonna do a redemption round where we're gonna draw something that we drew before that looked terrible, and I keep them for things like that. That's always fun. I don't know what I'm doing on this dragon. I'm just kind of having fun with these horns coming up and everything. How are we doing on time? My time's all screwed up because of the crashes. I think I can blend some of this. That's the other thing. Do I take this finished picture when I'm done with it and apply it as thumbnails to all of those videos? it's just it's so dumb. I hate when things not work. Stupid internet. Mercury is in retrograde right now, and I don't know about you all, but things are crazy. That's cool. I like it when things are crazy. I hate the status quo. I like when things are crazy. Um, Little Jackie Paper, love that rascal Puff. I don't know what you're saying, Richard. I don't know what that means, but that sounds cool too. The Green River in Kentucky is very beautiful. Um, like I felt like different places, like I like the waters in different places. So like it sounds kind of dumb, but um, when I go on a trip, first off, like the way I travel is I never go for any of the touristy stuff. Like I might go and take a picture of something famous, like I don't know, if I'm passing through St. Louis, I'll take a picture of the arches or something like that. But really, what I want in St. Louis is their barbecue or whatever they're specially known for. The stuff that makes them unique. I mentioned a trip to San Francisco I took a couple of years back on a previous show. When I was in San Francisco, I wasn't looking for the touristy stuff. I was looking for how do people actually live in San Francisco. So like, what's that like? What are people doing in San Francisco? And to me, that's a lot more fun. So like, I will travel in between the tourist areas. So like, if there's a tourist trap, I will travel in the space between. That's a good way of looking at. It. And mentioning the water, so like you mentioned the Green River, it made me think of the rivers around here, and they are literally green. And I think that's fascinating because like you don't always get that everywhere, but around here, most of the rivers are green. They're either green or they've got like a little bit of brown because of mud or something like that. But most of them are green because they're reflecting the environment around them, and they are pretty beautiful, especially the rivers and creeks that I kayak on because that's my thing. I enjoy doing that. That's my pastime. That riding bikes and hiking, but mostly kayaking. I really enjoy doing that, and I just love the waterways around here, especially the ones on the interior of Kentucky. They're beautiful. You you've got like a lot of little waterways that kind of just traverse the area, and I really like a creek that goes through town where you're like in this like special little world, but you know that like the world is happening around you. That's such a cool experience. That's what I really like about kayaking is being on this other road that most people don't even know of. That's like right there in between, neighborhoods and cities and things like that. It's just kind of super cool. Yeah. Jeremy, consider getting a static IP address and reduce latency for your live streams, regardless of the internet service provider you're using, including fiber optic connections, FTTH, etc. This is all good advice. I will consider that the static IP especially because like I could use that for other things. I could host my own servers if I had my own static IP address and not have to use Amazon. Um, I use mostly AWS for all my hosting, but yeah, those are all good things. But like, I just want things to be simple. Like, I want to be able to take my phone and tether it to my laptop and do broadcasts from like the local pub. Like, I don't want to have to deal with this nonsense. Things should just work. And I'm starting to think, you know, I don't want to jinx it by saying things are working out better now. It's probably because I was doing recording at the same time as I was doing the live stream. That I turned that off for this one, and things seems to be going better. That has nothing to do with like my internet connection or anything like that. That's something glitching out on my local computer in the software where it's encoding the video as it's streaming, and that kind of sucks. Because like I want to be able to record. The alternative is that I have to wait like 2 days or whatever, and then download this off of YouTube, and then make my shorts or whatever. I mean, I'm probably not going to make a short of this one just because it's going to be all glitched. I don't know. I just want things to be easier, hater. Like, why can't things just be easy? Why they got to be complicated? I don't want like a million different like technical hurdles. I just want to draw pictures. Thanks, MJ. Yeah, I think it's coming together. I mean, it's still got a ways to go, but I may not be able to finish it all tonight. But it's still like we're only like an hour and a half in, so maybe I'll make some progress here. But yeah, those are great suggestions, hater. My only response is, why does it have to be that way? Um, you know, it's probably because I worked in IT. Like, I mean, I've been working in IT since I want to say 1999. Like that's how long. I mean, I wasn't very good at anything back then, but I was still doing it. And I've been working in IT so long, I'm just getting to the point where I'm like, I reject I reject certain things. Like the whole AI art. I reject it. I get the argument that it's kind of cool and that there's like innovation there and all that stuff. I reject it. Um, Digital art. Hey, it's great for some people. I get it. Like you don't have to buy art supplies. Great. It's awesome. There's so many things that you can do when you can deal with layers and you can turn layers on and off and all that stuff. From a process standpoint, I totally get it. People are doing some beautiful work in digital art. I can't fault that. I mean, sure, it's way better than my art, um, which is strictly traditional, but also, you know, screw digital art. I don't want to do it. I reject it. I reject the whole idea of it. I reject all things computer. Um, that said, I still have to earn a living, so I still do things with computers. I'm just saying when it comes to art, I kind of want this to be not that. This is my break from all of that. This is why I started doing this channel. Hey puppy. I started doing this channel because I wanted to get creativity back in my life. I wanted to get away from computers and all that. Um, and I get that there's going to be some overlap and some frustrating parts where you're doing a live stream and your internet craps out or your computer craps out while it's trying to encode video, which I'm starting to think that's what happened. I think it died trying to encode the video while recording, which, maybe in the future I just won't record these. I don't know. But yeah, it's like there was life before computers, and I'm not one of those guys who are willing to say that life was better before computers because I don't think that that's true. I think that's like an extreme that rejection that I don't really want to embrace myself. But also, there are some things that are lost, since computers came through, and I acknowledge that, and I think that's true. And I prefer to do traditional art. I prefer to keep it simple. I prefer to, you know, I don't know, just simplicity. I want to get back to simple. I don't I don't want things to be complicated. I want to get off that train. What is it? The Jetsons back in the day, like where he's stuck on that treadmill and he's like, Jane, how do I get off this crazy thing? That's where I'm at. I want to get off. I want to go back to basics. Think simple again. I think the world could use some of that, you know? So if you want that, if that is your thing as well, draw a picture, you know? Draw a picture on a napkin. Draw a picture on a piece of paper with a ballpoint pen. You don't need computers for all that. Draw what you see, then you don't even need to look up a reference picture. Draw your friends. Go out and hang out with friends. People don't do that anymore, you know? Go out and actually hang out with real people in the real world, which is like my actual goal is to create art where I'm doing it in public with people at like a local pub or something like that, you know? Embrace the human side of the world again. Reject the computers. Reject AI. Reject the Terminator overlords that are coming to get us. And the way you do all that is you create art. That's my philosophy. Yeah, Tom, it's like digital versus vinyl. It's like both have their place in the world. There's nothing wrong with digital. I like that you can stream music. Don't get me wrong, but you know what? There's something to be said for taking a record off the shelf and putting it on your old turntable. And I don't feel like those days are beyond us yet. I think, or even if they are, then it's a matter of choice, right? And then uh, you choose some of these. I guess they're called retro things nowadays. I don't want to sound like the old guy, the old guy like, it was better back in my day. I'm not that old. But I do think that like rejecting certain things in favor of other things and stuff, that's a choice that you still have. And I think it's a choice that I would advocate for. I think that you should choose to reject certain things. Uh, Sorry, I lost track of the chat. Jeremy, you should also opt out from using OBS Studio. I mean, it's free and open source software, isn't it? Yes. They appear to lack recent updates to enhance the streaming experience for users. Yeah, I'd have to look into other options. I know there are some other options out there. If you're not paying for the product, then you're the product. Yeah, that's true. But yeah, I did like OBS Studio. There's I think it's open source. I'm not really sure, but there's like a large community there. So they are, it's not like some crappy software that's just off the shelf that nobody ever uses and that they don't do any sort of like updates or anything like that. There's a lot of people who use OBS Studio, so I don't feel like I don't feel like it's a bad choice, but I will look into other options. Because I think what was going on there now that this has been going on for as long as it has is that it did die during the encoding of you know the video. So I think that's safe to say at this point. And from that, I will have to decide if I really want to record things while I'm doing them, and if I am, what's the deal there? I'll have to figure all that out. But anyway, we're just drawing dragons tonight. We're not trying to solve the world's problems. More importantly, you don't need a computer for drinking bourbon. That is true. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Like the classic experience in life, you don't need all that noise for that. Screw all that stuff, you know? Let's get back to a real world, where you can drink bourbon in a pub, chatting with your best friends, like chatting with you guys. I like that stuff. Let's do more of that. The whole world where, you know, things are just complicated and stressful and all that stuff, I mean, there's a lot of crap going on in the world right now. It sucks. You guys see the news? It's pretty bad out there. But you know what? It doesn't have to be that way in here. This is your break from all that, or it's my break at least. Whenever I do art, it is literally my break from all the other stuff. It's I come in, I draw pictures, and it's like for those brief moments. Well, it's not really brief. I mean, these things usually go on for like 2 hours, but for those 2 hours, right? Those 2 hours out of the week, times two, because I do two broadcasts a week. Um, for that limited amount of time, nothing else matters except the dragon picture. That's all that matters. And a little bit of red, just because I really want these eyes to like kind of look cool. Um, One of the things I like about those teeth look pretty scary. Yeah, they do kind of. I like it. One of the things I like about soft pastels is they're so blendable. They're really good for doing dog pictures, dog portraits, people portraits, landscapes as well. Like that's kind of why I want to get a new set of some pastels so I can start getting into doing some landscapes more. I guess I could try to do landscapes in watercolor and acrylics, which is the paints that I use. But you basically can't do landscapes, to my knowledge, in colored pencils. So like at least that part's out. But with these pastel pencils, you can definitely get like a really cool landscape in. So I think that I will level up my set of pastels. I'll probably order something from Amazon here shortly. And then you guys can expect some pastel landscape pictures from me in the future. Yeah, I think that those teeth look really cool. So what I like about this, thanks, Richard. What I like about this uh, versus the previous dragon is the previous dragon was in black and white. I think this is more of a proper dragon, being in um, being in color, catching the shadows and those highlights. I think that is really cool. It's open source and written on C, C++, and built with Qt. I'm not sure what Qt is, but it is. It's usually pretty good. Like I said, there's some other alternatives I can look into. There is some stuff I used back in the day. I used to do like flash media encoding where you're just like directly going from flash encoder to the broadcast. I don't do that anymore. Like I can't remember the last time I did that. So I'm a little bit out of practice on what it takes to do a live stream outside of something like OBS Studio. I just know that OBS Studio has all of that kind of built into it. So like you just kind of plug it into your YouTube account and it just takes care of it. I'm sure the other software would do the same, but I have to look into like which ones are out there and what are they doing. All right, so this guy's looking pretty good. I need to get some stuff going back here. I don't really want to like overdraw this stuff. I just kind of want to this guy for a minute. Kind of want to suggest stuff is going on back here without actually drawing it. And notice I switched to blue because I want this to be kind of like in a different area and kind of like separate from the green of this. So I kind of just want it to fade out. Like you don't have to draw every single thing the further it gets away. I mentioned that a lot. But you do kind of have to suggest that there is a body there. And I kind of like how this guy's looking. Like I know that we've been at this for a little while, but I think it's starting to take shape, you know, starting to look like a dragon. Thanks, Davio. I appreciate that. Cuddly dragon. Yeah, because cuddly is what are those what are those pointy creatures? The are they horny toads? Like what are they called? The I don't know. They just have like all the spikes on them and stuff like that. I really need to. You know what I need to do? I need to start watching like Animal Planet or something like that. Because like I need to learn. I need to learn basically like what is out there in the world so that I can talk intelligently about them. I do have a trip planned to the zoo. I like to go to the zoo like at least once per year. I think this year I will be going to the zoo from like an artistic standpoint. Like I might actually take like a sketchbook with me and stuff like that, and try to draw some of the animals out there instead of just taking photos. Like actually spend some time there trying to draw things that I see, like making an art field trip. I love things like that. That's actually where I want to go with this channel is like turn it into like an art field trip type thing. Cuddly porcupine. Yeah, a little bit of a porcupine going here. Relax, dog. So, let's see. I want some spiky areas coming off here. Oh, these are bigger than the other ones. Relax, dog. So I think I'll draw like the horns coming off of here, and then or like the tips of the horns, and then kind of backfill in the rest of it. Hey, dog, go lay down. Relax. We're not done yet. You know what's up. Let's go with the horny too. This one is not scoopable. That's kids' rating system. Like, is what I draw scoopable or not? Like, can you pick it up and hug it? And I guess this one is not scoopable. That's a great rating system, by the way. I love it. Right, dog, you have to chill, man. I'm trying to draw. You know, he kind of looks like a gremlin a little bit. Like, what's his name? Stripe. You guys remember Stripe from Gremlins? Kind of looks like that a little bit. Yeah, you have to chill, dog. I have at least good 10 minutes left on this thing, I think. What are we doing on time? Yeah, 10, 20 minutes. That's right. Go over there, go sleep and pout. She gets so offended. The thing is, when I'm not doing a live stream, I do every single thing she wants. Like I am devoted to my dogs. Whatever they want, I give them things that I'm not supposed to give them. Um, you know, if they say, "Oh, I want to go out," it's like I jump to it. You know, like if they want to go out at 5 in the morning, I'm jumping out of bed to put them out. They're completely spoiled. So it is not conducive to doing a live stream because they think that they're still supposed to be like the center of attention, and I'm like busy trying to do other things. Let's see, try this color here. I know it's taken us a while to get there, and we've had some technical glitches along the way, but I like this guy. I think he's a pretty cool dragon. And I feel like, you know, given Even a couple of hours or something of work, I could really, really make this guy shine. I'm not gonna do all that, but I could. Yeah, your dogs get up at 5 a.m. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what it is with those dogs. They just they're on this weird time. It's because they sleep all day. That's a, I mean, if I slept all day, yeah, I'd be up at 5 a.m. too. I don't want to be up at 5 a.m. though because I don't sleep all day. Yeah, stripe after 8 after midnight. Yeah. They're supposed to be making I think I mentioned this before. I drew Gizmo at some point, so I'm sure I have. They're supposed to be making another Gremlins. Of course, they're always making everything, you know, but uh, I think this one's like a legit rumor. Um, they are making a new Gremlins, and I think they're doing it with the practical effects so that like they don't want to go digital on Gremlins because like I don't know they'd look weird, and I agree with that. So I think they're going practical puppet effects, which you know is always better. Like look at CGI Yoda versus practical effects Yoda. I think it was a good call turning Yoda back into practical effects, even though everything else about the Last Jedi sucked. That was a good call that they turned Yoda back into a puppet. It's a nice jaw there, I think. All right, so the trick is I got to get all of this stuff in here somehow, and I want that to be kind of a different kind of blue, not necessarily green. So let me kind of sketch this stuff in. I've already got the tips of these horns or protuberances, I guess. It's a weird word, protuberances. Let me sketch those in, and then we would have a viable jaw for this guy. They almost look like feathers, which it's kind of weird if you think about it because like dinosaurs are the precursors for like on an evolutionary standpoint for birds, right? Like in fact, they even say that dinosaurs probably had feathers or something to that effect. Um, so dragons being birds, maybe? Like I feel like dragons could have feathers. I mean, first off, as an artist, you get to, like Davia just said, imagine dragons. So, like, as an artist, you get to imagine what this dragon might be like. So, I feel like it's totally within your rights as an artist to imagine a dragon with feathers. You know, you don't have to just do the classical dragon. Like, I feel like this probably falls into like a a classical kind of imagining of a dragon. But it doesn't have to be this way. You can do feathers. Why not? Put a little bit of shadow over here. I noticed it. This kind of looks a little weird. A little too bright over there. Need some feature definition. Because like there's supposed to be like an eye over here and stuff. There you go. I like that. That's cool. Okay, sorry. Got a little off on the tangent there. All right, so let me try to blend some of this stuff in. And again, this is what I really like about pastels. And you can't really do this with colored pencil so easy. There's things I don't like about pastels. Maybe I should speak about those because like more than more than like I like them way more than I dislike them. But there are some certain things that I dislike about soft pastels. One of the things I dislike about them is that you almost have to have special paper. Like I'm cheating using this paper. You should really be using paper with like some good tooth to it so that these things get stuck in them and they don't just kind of blow away. I feel like if I just brush my hand over this, it'll like smear, um, which isn't good. So like, if I wanted to keep this picture, um, I would definitely have to like take some fixant to it and kind of like lock it in and preserve it and stuff like that. You don't have to do that so much with colored pencils, but you see how easily this stuff blends. Like I can blend this with the stump, I can blend it with my finger. Um, it's very very nice for that. So now that I've got that baked stuff in, how are we doing on time? We still got a few minutes, right? Yeah. Let me finish up this guy's chin here by putting in some detail through here with the dark. So I'm kind of rushing through this, but that's okay because like all I'm really doing is like bringing the features from the chin on out into like whatever this would be. And I am sorry about the technical issues we had earlier, guys. I know that it kind of sucks, and you guys shouldn't have to deal with that stuff. I do appreciate you guys' patience, and you know, I don't want to call it loyalty, but I do appreciate you guys sticking with me, even though things don't always work out. That's kind of loyalty. Yeah, you guys are loyal friends. I appreciate that. Like you guys literally had to click three different links to get in here, like from the crashed ones. So I think there would be more chin down here. I'm not going to get really into the weeds on these, but blend that out. Um, just kind of suggests that there's like a neck going on there. Maybe I'll mess with that later. Um, Everyone in the chat, please confirm if you are also getting Jeremy's stream in 14p. I doubt if anybody in here knows what 14p is. Um, like, I don't know. Yeah, most of the folks in here probably aren't all that technically inclined, which is cool. But I don't know. Maybe somebody knows what 14p is. I know that it should be streaming at like 1280, or sorry, is it 1280? 1240 maybe, by 768. I used to stream it in at 1080 by crap, I can't remember the numbers. I used to stream it at like high resolution, but I gave up on that just because like it was too much for my computer to maintain. So whatever is the lower end of high def, that's what it streams in. Clicking through links for so often. I'm just saying that, like, it's an inconvenience. So I do appreciate you guys sticking it out. It should be 720p. There you go. I don't know. Or maybe not. I've been drinking. I don't remember all the different 480p. There you go. The two refresh clicks. I mean, it's just frustrating. It kind of sucks. feel like this would be a cool grin for like a humanoid character with a few changes. So like maybe like the Joker or something like that. Sir, I can see the stream clearly. I tried to scratch my head and rub my eyes. Like I feel like the Joker could be done in this style. Like I think that would be cool. I feel like he needs. So at this point, I'm going to quickly kind of sketch in some features just because we're like running out of time. But I feel like some of these features probably should be in here. So like some sort of neck. And this is kind of fun. I do enjoy sketching like this, loosely, where you're just kind of like implying different things. So at this point, he's kind of like all scaled and stuff. And then, you know, because I've already introduced the idea that this is blue, kind of get some blue scribbles in here. And then the light blue for like highlights. And this is kind of like what brings out the scales. So I know this is a little different than the puppy dogs that we usually draw and wildlife creatures and stuff like that. But it's nice to, have some fun every now and then. Some white tips on these horns. And then again, I want this side to be kind of like dragon, fire, village burning kind of stuff. So Hater says, I can hear you clearly. That's really cool. So this is still part of his neck, but it's a different area of his neck. So it's like catching that reflection off of like I don't know, whatever's burning. So like something's burning out there in the world, whether it's a village or he's just like flying through the air or something like that. But something's burning out there. So these little highlights on that. Let me kind of blend it just a little bit. I don't want to go too far with this. Have you tried? Oh, Davio, have you tried Starburst? Hater said stream is at 144p as if Jeremy is streaming from the moon. Nice. I don't know. I feel like a lot of that is just YouTube. Um, like I don't know. I'll check all the settings again. Obviously, I want it to be broadcasting at its optimal quality, but there's not much I can do about it while it's during a live stream. That's what was frustrating when it went out earlier. It's like, what do I do? There's only so much I can do during a live stream to like fix it. Really, what I need to do is reset my computer by restarting it and so on. But you can't really do that during a live stream. That's like the one thing you can't do is just totally reset everything. It's frustrating. Um, let's see. Let's fire. Get some fire up in here. We're almost done here, guys, by the way. Just working on getting some atmosphere in this picture. Um, in many ways, these types of features that I'm putting in now are like the fun parts. You know, they're they're the scribble art bits where you're just kind of like scribbling in things because they belong in there. But I like these colors, by the way. I think they all look pretty good. If you imagine fur on it, it looks like a werewolf. It could be a werewolf. Ah, did it glitch out again? Ah, I'm not even recording. All right, this is probably a good place to end it. Let's see. All right, guys. Yeah, it looks like it's glitched out again. Um, I will reset my computer, reconfigure everything, come back stronger on Tuesday. It will be glorious. On Tuesday, I'll be back with a totally new setup. Everything will be running great. In the meantime, enjoy your mosaic, like psychedelic, weird crap, whatever. I'll post this picture to the community tab. See you guys. Have a good one. Bye. Wait 5 minutes. It's not gonna fix it, W. All right. Have a good one, guys. I'll see you guys. Bye.